Breaking news. In a recent interview, Damian Priest discussed the greatest villainous moment in WWE history that he saw while watching the most recent celebrity to kiss high Stephanie McMahon posed for a 2009 photo with Triple H. Rivalry in the Viper game was fierce. Later took a closer look at Triple H's, a scene in which he was handcuffed, the ring rope before administering DDT to Stephanie McMahon, his wife, who had hurried to assist the present chief, the billion-dollar content officer. Walton kissed the princess as she lay on the mat. She kissed her beneath the eyelids of her spouse. When watching a recent WWE Pop issue, the priest chose that section at a very wicked scene throughout. The background of the Stanford-based firm, formerly reigning middleweight champion, depicted that instant by saying that was, without a doubt, the most insane thing that happened to man when Randy Dodson, Triple H, and Stephanie were restrained by her hands as she lay there. Unaware of his actions, we are aware of them. Noticed how Triple H reacted following that, his most outrageous statement to date. From 440 to 455, even though Stephanie McMahon is. Throughout his career in WWE, Randy Orton, an engaged wrestler competing in WWE, Triple H, is now at the head of the creative team. Stephanie McMahon, meanwhile, has departed, working with the firm following their departure from being chairwoman and co-chief executive officer. In spite of her leaving last year, the billion-dollar doll princess had this year's performances at WWE events, to the WWE Royal Rumble. Triple H, SummerSlam's hubby, supplied a status report during post-SummerSlam press release, event that Stephanie McMahon attends. Currently do not hold a formal position, but just so you know, she absolutely adores this. She's thoroughly loving it and adores it. Seeing it, she's having fun visiting. Prove that she's having fun seeing everyone in. She adores it when I'm the little one in the back. Children's schedules, papers, or any other. Do you wish to tell her that she's sitting there, a small child playing nearby? She has loved it her entire life. She had no formal position, was she? At the moment, she is officially her jobs, savoring the aging process of our children quickly. But we'll have to figure out what the road ahead. Hat tip to wrestling guru Kevin. Recently, Nash stated that it is highly unlikely. It was expected that Stephanie will go back to on-screen role due to the fact that is preoccupied with motherhood. It might. Intriguing to watch whether the billion-dollar. Wonder whether the princess will ever be on television again. Damian Priest reclined on his seat, his gaze fixed on, eyes wide with shock as he related one of the most out-of-body experiences of his, seen through in WWE. For anyone who had witnessed a fair, is filled with anarchy, treachery, and craze. Tempers flare within the squared circle. That time was memorable. It was, though, quite the bizarre sight, he remarked. He's been spotted shaking his head, and believe me, this industry is known for its crazy. The interviewer protruded their body in interesting, but I need to know what transpired and how it happened. The priest, with a chuckle that betrayed his continued, attempting to comprehend it. It was on a live broadcast immediately following the primary. All of the performers were gathered backstage for the event, spending time together and taking it easy, feeling after the rush of, in most cases, it's a pleasant, eased up to this point, when everything changed. He leaned forward, his elbows crossed over, kneeling down as if to alleviate that evening's stress. So Triple H, the presence of Stephanie McMahon was comparable to. They are perpetually aristocratic in WWE. Being present is common. However, at this, a change had occurred. One of the most famous celebrities of all time, who was atop their horse, began to experience. Feeling uneasy about Stephanie, clergyman halted, allowing the seriousness of the moment hit home for everyone. Stephanie McMahon's connection. Triple H, They were more than simply a commercial partnership, allies, but also a dynamic duo in the combat sports arena. I crossed that line when I was. No one can save their career, not even the biggest celebrity, appeared unconcerned, so we will simply. The priest claimed to have been confident for days. Proceeding, he was experiencing a run of victories, big eventing PPVs, and obviously, he mistakenly believed that his status propelled him. Our collective belief was that it was simply light-hearted conversation first. You see, a group of wrestlers attempting to stimulate individuals to respond. Yet, intensified priest's gaze shifted with blend of entertainment and shock as soon as I find out this guy gently presses against hi, Stephanie. It's McMahon over there. Before the interviewer, Triple H, gasped, visibly shocked by the reveal. Absolutely not for Triple H. What was the? A priest conducting a response blew a low whistle. He shook his head, as you might expect. Initially, few people truly believed in what they were witnessing was the shock felt by all participants in the chamber, as if time had frozen in place for a moment. And then we shifted our gaze to a Triple H. Damian would never forget that moment. Recollection of the priest prior to the tempest, remaining motionless, Triple H's expression, unintelligible, which nearly increased, chilling than if he responded right away. The game was understood by all. Might be able to do when agitated. Observe his jaw muscles tensing. Priest went on. But the man was more terrifying than anything else. He did nothing except stand there, waiting. Ring that I've ever laid eyes on. No one has spoken in the dressing room since. The air was thick with tension as the star backed, beyond Stephanie's awareness of the seriousness of his error. Yet it was. The harm had already been done. It was all eyes were on Triple H as the priest exclaimed, expand. And you need to believe me. It is common knowledge throughout the industry that when you would rather not be in Triple H's wrath, in his immediate vicinity, yet for some logic he seemed to be captivated, didn't he? Considering an idea for a split second, it seemed like the leading lady could escape punishment. Never has Stephanie McMahon been the experts attempted to shrug it off while laughing, reduce the tense atmosphere. But it was clear to her how serious the situation had suddenly become. She remained composed, the priest explained. She almost succeeded in making her laugh, and I'll give her that. Ignore it as though it were insignificant, but Triple H was completely absorbed in the action. Just an instant, that individual throughout the backstage area was a hive of activity with the anxious anticipation of what's to come, who Triple H would choose as their top star. His bluster took on a whole new appearance. I felt a surge of self-assurance. A change was on the way. Clergyman uttered a few, grinning as if he were letting his teeth chatter. According to Triple H, he had no intention of release this in the subsequent days. Rumors circulated all over. According to certain WWE fans, Triple H removed superstars should set aside for an exclusive conversation, although some asserted that a close, sneak peek encounter with WWE superstar Vince McMahon, whatever transpired in the background one, it was obvious that the career of the top star, the course of events took an unexpected twist, as if he vanished without a trace. The priest mentioned that he's in headline performances, and then on television, he appeared as if he had been taken away from the scene where the action takes place. Overnight, the priest slouched down once again. He wears a contented smile as it effortlessly glides, regardless of your perceived size. The WWE, there are specific lines that you avoid making out and embracing. Hi, Stephanie. Triple H stands before McMahon, and that's one. Throughout those passages, the interviewer reclined, pondering the plot. What the hey? What became to the star subsequent to that priest? He shrugged, acting as if nothing had changed. truly recovered, even though he's still famous, although he has fallen from his heights. Just before that night, it was as if he had been disoriented. The interviewer was unable to stop him from advancing, laughed aloud. So, I suppose that goes for a majority of the WWEH patronage members agreed.